One claims that a piece of you perishes when your twin passes away. On that solemn day, I stood before a shut casket, seeking answers from the mahogany slab above. The priest droned his words. My spouse clutched my hand forcefully. Our parents remained impassive on the opposite side. Everything was orderly. Staged sorrow, as if it had been rehearsed. Suddenly, my phone buzzed with an unfamiliar number. A single message, "Not dead. That's not me in the casket." It originated from Evan's number. My heart didn't leap. Instead, it ceased beating. I stared at the screen for what felt like eternity until my wife murmured, "Is everything all right?" I nodded, lying silently. "Where are you?" 3 dots blinked. Then came, "Can't say. They're listening. Be wary of your spouse and our parents." 2 months ago, we had planned a hiking adventure to Black Ridge, intended solely for us. A journey unundertaken since college. Evan insisted he required it. He claimed he was suffocating. I presumed he referred to his work. I hadn't suspected he meant them. Then he fell. That's what they said. A slip, plummeting 30 feet down. Deformed corpse, unrecognizable visage. I was barred from seeing him. They claimed it was for my own welfare. My wife wept more than I did. Evan and I were identical twins, mirroring each other in an uncanny way. However, we were opposites on the inside. I was the pragmatist, the one who kept things grounded. He pursued elusive shadows and secrets. Despite our differences, I cherished him more than anyone, even her. We co-founded the company together, specializing in tech security. He crafted the code, I marketed the vision. When he became increasingly paranoid, inspecting devices and conducting thorough sweeps, I attributed it to exhaustion. Then he vanished, and all of a sudden, everything he had warned me about fell into place. I started noticing subtle details. My wife, Leela, failed to log out of Evan's laptop the evening following the funeral. I didn't let her know I had seen. Her gaze lingered too long on our safe when she believed I wasn't watching. She wore a new necklace that I had never purchased. Our parents experienced an unexpected financial boom, acquiring numerous properties and engaging in offshore transactions. I followed the company funds and discovered a hidden account that Evan hadn't disclosed prior to his accident. I didn't accuse him. Instead, I listened. Silence can be a powerful weapon when wielded correctly. I began devising my strategy in much the same way as Evan constructed firewalls, untraceable and patient. First, I visited his old apartment where I unearthed an encrypted hard drive hidden behind a vent. Its contents included voice memos, journal entries, and documents. It appeared that he was aware of a plot. Our company was being used by my wife and our parents to sell data to foreign buyers. Evan intended to reveal this conspiracy. He recorded the altercation. Upon listening to my wife's voice saying, "We can't allow you to jeopardize this for everyone," they attempted to disassociate him. They tried to discredit him legally and financially, then physically. However, Evan had already planned his escape before they could complete their mission. He orchestrated the fall and applied acid to a stranger's face, leaving it at the scene before vanishing. But he required my assistance to bring the matter to a conclusion. I began moving the chess pieces. Initially, I arranged for our financials to undergo anonymous audit and informed an international agency about questionable transactions from our shell company. I subsequently told Lila a falsehood that I was contemplating selling the company, causing her to panic and make calls she believed were untraceable. In secret, I began conferring with a lawyer, one whom Evan trusted and had used previously for drafting contingencies that made me the sole heir if misconduct was proven. At dinner each night, I maintained a facade of normalcy, but our smiles felt insincere and forced. The following day, federal agents raided her office. The fallout unfolded progressively. My parents were apprehended for tax fraud and corporate espionage, while Lila faced indictments for conspiracy and obstruction. The evidence I provided, consisting of Evan's files, voice memos, and offshore statements, was ironclad. They believed they had managed to eliminate him. Instead, they inadvertently destroyed themselves. On the news, their expressions were no longer sorrowful but shocked. 3 days later, I encountered Evan at a cabin close to the Canadian frontier. His beard had grown denser, his gaze more piercing. He didn't embrace me. Instead, he seemed uncertain if I was genuine. I offered him the corporation deed, a passport free of blemishes, and an extra set of keys. "Are you certain you won't join?" he inquired. I declined. Wanting them to realize I remained steadfast. He departed, I stayed. The headlines transitioned from empathy to controversy. I issued public declarations, keeping my sentiments restrained. Let them portray me as a faithful sibling, deceived CEO. In secret, I sold off all assets they had control over. I donated the tainted funds to causes Evan used to discuss. From the ruins, I constructed something pure. I no longer visit the false tombstone. Let them find peace in the fabrication they created. I often reflect upon my brother, not the one they attempted to erase, but the one who outsmarted them at their game. They underestimated the silent one. We were twins. They executed the wrong individual, and I ensured they suffered the consequences. Completely.